Hello everyone, it's Lawrence from Unicorn Reviews here. Welcome to Donington Park here in the UK. We'll be doing a trek guide here today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run you through all the corners, show you where to be on the trek, where you don't want to be because of bumps in the road and off-camber corners, that sort of stuff. My goal here is to let you guys get a lot faster here and also show you around the track, whether it's in real life or in virtual racing, because obviously you cannot get these cameras in real life. So the game we're on is Project Cars. This is pre-alpha build 489, I think. Anyway, the car pole position is here on the right, while the motorcycle pole position is on the left. Because I do car racing, I'm going to be doing a track guide for cars. Anyway, this right here is the exit of the pit lane. It's all asphalt here, so a bit like in Mugello, where you kind of cheat a bit by going into the pit lane, you can do a similar thing here. So you get like two wheels into the pit lane when you're on your hot lap, just to get a shallower angle into Red Gate, which is the first corner over there. As you can see, there's a tiny bit of a bump here in the track, also a surface change. So that's why I prefer to be a bit more over to the left, so that I'm not affected by that too much. So you come from over here, right? And then right here is where you start braking, like right here. And then you turn in. As you can see, it's a tiny bit cambered, and there's a bit of curb there. It's pretty important to get this corner right, because Hollywood, the Craner curves, it's all full throttle all the way up to the old hairpin. So this corner is vital to your lap. If you mess it up, your lap will be like a second slower than it could have been. Anyway, nice aerial shot here of Redgate. What you do is because you enter from all the way over to the left, you go right, and then you go as wide as you can right here on the curb, and then you cut all the way back to the left in Hollywood. The problem I'm having here is that I have to re-record my voice every time, so I don't know what I've said the previous time, because I don't use papers or anything. It's pretty annoying. That's why it might be a bit shaky, or the voice might be a bit behind or something. Anyway, you stay all the way over to the right here. It's down the hill the entire time, so you're going to get a lot of speed into the old hairpin, which is maybe the most important corner on the track. You get a lot of curb here as well, but you have to be very, very careful to not get too much oversteer, because it's down the hill, it's a bit off camber. You really, really want to get this corner right, and your car will get very, very light in the rear. Also, you'll be doing this might probably be one of the fastest points on track. So be very, very careful here. Actually, the fastest piece of the track is the Dunlop Straight, but every track seems to have a Dunlop Straight nowadays. Is that just me? Anyway, the old hairpin. You want to be as far over to the left as you can. You want to straighten yourself up, get the car as neutral as you can, then you start braking. So you brake a tiny bit earlier, you can see the groove right there. You brake a bit before it actually, or before what your latest brake point could be, because you want to get as neutral as possible, as far over to the left as possible. Nicely let go gently of the brakes. It's a bit off camber here as well, pretty bumpy. And what you want to do is you want to get two wheels on the inside of the curb, maybe in the grass, like, some racing leagues will be a bit tighter, some cars, all the regulations to, how much of the car has to be between the white lines, or what your car can actually deal with is pretty important, of course. I'm doing this for the Radical SR3, which I'll be doing a hot lap in later. Anyway, right here you go over the Starkey's bridge, or under the bridge. Nice clock on top of there, so you can check your lap time if you're really slow. Yeah, you just cut back to the left, of course. You don't go all the way back to the right because it's not as sharp of a corner here, the quants curve, and let's face it, you want to keep as much speed as possible, even if that means, well, yeah, you have to find this perfect balance between how short can you make the track and how fast can you do a lap on the track. However, you want to be very, very wide there at Swans, because you want to be all over to the left here. So you can see it's not a very sharp turn, but it is a turn and it will upset your car balance. So even though the groove is all the way over to the right here, what I do is I stay way over to the left, get a very late apex, use the curb on the right, drift the car a bit. Oh, well, I don't do it on purpose, it just happens, but you drift the car all over to the outside curbs here on the left of the track, and then it's pretty much up the hill into Coppice. And I seriously do not know how you pronounce that name. Is it Coppice, whatever. Anyway, up the hill right before the crest here at the, wait for the camera to go back a little bit. It won't, oh, there we, no. See, that's the problem with Afterburner not recording my voice properly. If anyone's got any fixes for that, please tell me. Anyway, uphill braking. You don't brake too much though, because these two corners, it's not one corner. You take it as one corner, but it's actually two corners with a little straight in between. But you want to get, again, very, very neutral, get as much curb on the inside, and then hope that the car doesn't fly all the way over to the left into the grass. It's pretty important that you get that right. This piece of curb, you just ignore that really, unless of course you got a very slow car or an underpowered car, and then you can actually make the track shorter. But what I do is I go for higher top speed, because the Dunlop Straight, as I said, is the fastest piece of track here. You get a nice little surface change here at the car auction. So yeah, if you want to pick up a car, do some wheeler dealing, and you might want to stop there. Anyway, braking into the Fogger TS's. There's one to the right, there's one to the left. The one to the right is for the short track, but this video is for the GP track. It's not really a GP track, they don't do Formula 1 here. They almost did Formula 1 here though, but Silverstone then revisioned their entire complex and track, and they got the Formula 1 license. Anyway, you don't go as low into gear as you would like here. So pretty much you short shift it a bit. But it's like, instead of short shifting, you don't shift down as much as you would like, because you want to keep the car as balanced as you possibly can through there. Like, balance is everything. And then it's just, again, up the hill. A little bit of a kink here, but you won't really notice the kink. It's another surface change though, so you go to a bit more abrasive, so there's a tiny bit more grip here. Brake a bit early, like about here with my car, and then my way of doing a hairpin is to do a really, really wide turn and only hit the apex right in the middle. Other people brake slightly diagonally, hug the entire corner, and then go on the troll, but I like a lot of exit speed, and right here especially, it's up the hill, it's a pretty long straight, so to me it's very important to get a lot of exit speed from there. Hey, that there was perfectly synced. Cool. Anyway, up to the final corner. It's another one of those late apex corners, but it goes downhill, so when you turn in, that's when you're on the top of a crest. Pretty annoying. It's also completely off camber, so you might want to watch out with that. I don't like off-camber corners at all, actually, but whatever. I didn't make this track. Anyway, yeah, that's where you can see the nice symmetry between the short track and the long track, and where the old track would have been. Yeah, I've seen it now. I hate my own camera work sometimes. Anyway, right here on the left is your pit entry, and you know how to take that last corner. It's again a late apex. Just want to be careful not to hit the tires there. It's pretty tight. Also, you won't get full speed, full acceleration out of the final hairpin, because if you do, you can't get back to the left in time. at least not with my car. As you can see, my car parked in the first pit box there. Anyway, this is your pit lane. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into the car, do a hot lap, and then I'll be back to you guys. Alright guys, so let's do this hot lap here. I'm already going to say that I wasn't as good as my personal best, but it's still a pretty good lap, and it still illustrates how you should drive the car. I mean, I can still improve a lot, of course, but anyway, as you can see, we're all the way over to the left of the track, 2 wheels over the white lines, you know, just to not piss anyone off by going off over it with 4 lines, with 4 wheels. I got a little bit of oversteer because I downshifted a little bit too early, but I'm pretty down on my personal best here. Anyway, still the same oversteer here because I downshifted too quickly. But the lines themselves are pretty good. As you can see, I'm still up on my personal best here. And then here's where I screw up a little bit. I mean, I'm still ahead, but Coppice is pretty much the hardest corner. It's completely blind, and so you have to know the track, where the track's gonna go. You can't use your eyes there at all, and I just lost 0.3 of a second there. Alright, here to the chicane, that went alright. I mean, I didn't lose any time there, it went alright. And then here I brake a little bit too early. Other than that, it is a pretty good lap, and you can nicely see what you can see from inside the car. And then a final corner here, and now we just straighten everything out. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this lap. Anyway, if you got any feedback from me or comments, please let me know in the comment area on this video, and also I would very much like it if I had some subscribers. Thank you very much for watching.